Hey there, this is Marissa with Marissa Moments, and it is Oracle Tuesday. So I actually just pre-recorded another one, but I felt the need to do next week as well. Now, don't worry, these messages are timeless. So regardless of when I draw the cards, when you get this message, it is for you because time isn't even real. Anyway, so these cards are actually just popping out to me right now. That's why I keep getting so distracted. But keep going. We need you. Now, I would say this is bottom of the deck, but it's not. It's kind of like middle of the road, right? What I received to share with you is that you constantly find yourself like questioning yourself, like you're in a very doubtful place, but at the same time, it's because you got too much going on. You got too much going on. Now this message definitely resonates with me. I was like, pew, full speed ahead recently. And then I got slowed down with COVID, y'all. I told you last week, but I had never had it before. So this is the first time, but it was God giving me the hard slowdown. So anyway, piggybacking off of that, why do you fear success, right? Now, I feel like all of these are together, right? It's almost like double dutch in a way, like where you're like kind of waiting to jump in. But at the same time, when you jump in, it's like you're going 10,000 miles a minute, right? And again, I can resonate with this energy because it is me as well. But what God is saying is that clear your schedule, because there's going to be a lot of opportunities coming up. However, if you're so apt to like book in the front end, then you're not going to be open to those opportunities. And what I even hear more so than that is blessings. Blessings are trying to come in, but it's almost like, oh, okay, God, I hear you. So it's like the reason why we book so heavily on the front end, right, is because I keep seeing like something in the background. But anyway, is because it's almost like, well, if I don't book it, then what if they don't book it, right? And at the same time, it's like that fear of success, because what I keep seeing is like a runaway train, right? And you feel like that fear of not being able to control it or handle it, right? And that's why you might fear success at this stage. And that's why you want to book everything and schedule everything out so much, because it's like, well, at least I can have some sort of control and handle on it. But what God is saying is like, don't worry about it. Everything up to this point, like, okay, so it's almost like, okay, so you need an example of like, why don't I need to worry about it? Well, everything's worked out so far. And what I hear is like, well, not necessarily. It's not necessarily worked out. It's almost like you're constantly looking for evidence to rain on your own parade, right? And so instead, what God wants you to do is shift your focus and look at all of the success that you've had, right? Okay, so I'm being called to another card. This is just sitting at the thing. It just took a second to pick it up. Write down your ideas and then get to work. So yeah, what God is basically saying is like, yes, be organized, right? But there is such a thing as being too organized, where you're just like, okay, I kind of need an example for that one, Lord, because is there such a thing as being too organized? But hang on, let me get the answer for you. Okay, so I had to pause it for a second, because I'm like, is there such a thing as being too organized? But what I receive is like, yes, because then you don't leave space for the blessing, is what I receive. And that's why you need to clear that schedule up and not be so worried about booking everything on the front end, because one, that allows space for faith is what I receive. But two, it also allows space for the blessings to come in, because it's almost like you're trying to operate under faith, but at the same time, you're like, but just in case, I'm going to book everything, right? And God is like, that's not faith. That's just you taking control again. And that's you being, very controlling. Nope, that's not it. Okay. That's it for that. And if you saw last week, I did pull a prayer card. And so I'm going to do that this week as well. This one's a little bit like disjointed, but whatevs, we're going to do what we're going to do. Lord, what prayer do we need in our lives. Okay. The Lord is my light and my salvation. Whom shall I fear? Psalm 27:1. Okay. Can you see that? Yeah. So what I receive is like, overall, this message is talking about your fear, whether it be of success. Well, no, it is of success, right? So what God is saying through all of this, what I receive is that he's going to come through for you. And what I hear is show up and show out. But at the same time, it's like, even in his, what you perceive to be his absence, he's never left you. Even what you perceive to be a failure has been a success, but it's about the way that you look at it. It's almost like I see somebody taking a spotlight, and what you continue to do is shine it straight down, right? And what God is saying is like, if you angle it just a little bit and see it from a different perspective, you will see that not only has he been there the whole time, but that everything has been a success. Because if you're capable of culling, right, pulling out the lesson, then that is a success, because it's not just a wasted experience. It's not just wasted pain, right? It's being able to pull out the purpose of that pain. It's when we get down on our knees and we cry to God and say, Father, why? Why is this happening? It's that why that we're able to pull out and extract from that sorrow and that depression and that anxiety and that angst and resentment and all of those things that we're able to pull out. It doesn't mean that it negates the feelings that we have within those moments, but what it means is that it's not wasted. Do not allow your pain to be wasted. Do not allow your efforts to be wasted is what I receive, because you have been working on things. And whether that is working on yourself, which obviously you're doing, that's why you're listening to me right here and now, or working on a project, whether it be something at home or for school or for work or with your family, or regardless of what that thing is, don't allow yourself to fit in maybe you're having a tantrum about it, but don't allow yourself to sit in such a space of perceived failure and darkness and focus in one angle that you miss out on the purpose behind it. So all it takes sometimes is just to turn that light a bit, and it's going to like emblazon, what I see is like almost like blazing a path, right? It's going to light up that path for you to bring that clarity behind that pain, because otherwise you're just sitting in that state of darkness and waiting for someone else to bring the light when you have it the entire time. So bottom line, clear your schedule, write down your ideas, get to work, and continue to keep moving forward. Should we flip into the book? I put a little bend in it. Okay, don't put anything in your book, y'all. And stop. Okay. Okay, so when we begin to look at your energy and attention as currency, you will understand focused spending. You will no longer be frivolous with your time and recategorize what you deem to be important. The universe wants you to reflect on all the things you currently give attention to and then envision them as items you purchase in a store. Which would you pay for and which would you simply leave on a shelf? I mean. Did y'all get that? Because I know I was stumbling on some of the words, but I don't want you to miss it. Because what this is saying is pretend everything, okay, to put this in a way that we can apply to this actual message here, pretend every single thing, opportunity that you receive is something that you have to pay for, right? Because time is currency. It is money. Your time is money. Your energy is money. Sorry, I'm still clearing it out. But when you start looking at the things that come across your table, right? And the things that you schedule yourself out for, is it worth your money? Because, okay. The image that I'm getting right now, I don't know the name of it's like a Justin Timberlake movie where it's like Just in Time or whatever. That's not the name of it. But where they're like running everywhere because you are given a certain clock on your arm. And once it runs out, you're out, right? And so if we all imagine that we have this clock on our arms, right, that says 24 hours every single morning when we wake up, and that's our money. 24 hours, that's all we have. 24 hours, that's all we all have when we wake up. And, or 10, depending on how long you're awake, but that's semantics. Anyway, when you start looking at your life and from that perspective, when you switch the light over to see that as your currency, then you become more selective with your time. You're not going to entertain the same shenanigans that maybe you used to entertain before that clock started to light up on your arm, right? You're not going to be as frivolous with who you choose to surround yourself with. You're not going to, or maybe you will. And if that is what you choose to do, that's what you choose to do. However, what I received to share with you is that your success is based off of that time, right? That time, that clock, and that currency. If success is the direction that you wish to travel, right? This is very specific. If that road to success, that path to success is the road that you choose to travel, then you need to become more selective with that clock every single day. What are you going to be spending your time, energy, attention, all of those things on? You can choose to be frivolous with it. You can choose to sit on the couch for hours on end and do absolutely nothing. And sometimes that is necessary as well, right? To kind of recharge and recuperate. But at the same time, if you're given a mission, if you have that journal of ideas that you've written down, then it's time to get to work, because you cannot afford to spend your currency on nothing and expect to get something. That's the bottom line to this bottom line. So thank you so much for watching. Apples and tomatoes, all the things. Happy healing. And until next time, bye.